What's up guys, Spin Firearms here, and today we're going to be talking about two firearms that are sorta chambered in the Lord's caliber. Now, the Lord's caliber is just a saying people use when they talk about 45 ACP, and there's many reasons. It tends to be older people saying it's the greatest round, the best round, and so on, but they also have their reasonings for it, right? It's been through world wars, it's won us world wars, it's been through battle, it's been tested, it's been proven to be a reliable round, especially when it comes to self-defense. Yes. Is it a slower round? Yes. Is it a heavier round? Yes. Does that mean less capacity and being more uncomfortable while carrying? Yes. But does that make it any less of a round? No, not at all. We're going to get into it and compare two awesome options in a 45 or a version similar to 45 ACP that we have right in front of me. But before we get started, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, subscribe. Tell me what you carry today. Also, tell me what you think of the Lord's caliber, as many people refer to it as. I have nothing against 45 ACP or 45 GAP. I carry them both. A round is a round. As long as it's effective, reliable, what more can you ask for? So on the left right here, we have the Springfield Armory XDS chambered in 45 ACP round, or ACP. It's got over 300 rounds through it, 100% reliable. This setup right here is 6+1. So 7 rounds of 45 ACP, very, very thin, great texturing, super ergonomic, just a good overall feel to a firearm. And I know people are going to say, oh, capacity, or I'm out. Well, one thing that a lot of people don't think about when it comes to single stacks and stuff like this is just having another option for light carry, doing simple activities, mowing the lawn, just being active but still having a good, powerful, reliable firearm on you. And that's one of the reasons why I love larger calibers and smaller firearms. I just think it's a great way as a backup, or just to have power and not feel outgunned, but also have a comfortable light package to carry and take with you. Then on the right here, we have a firearm that not many people have, but some people do, and they really tend to enjoy it. 45 GAP is the round, and this is a Glock 39. So this is a Glock auto pistol. This was a round designed by Glock, CCI, and Spear to basically be a shortened 45 ACP, but still get basically the exact same ballistics. So on the right, you have an Underwood Extreme Defender, which is the round I go to for self-defense when it comes to 45 ACP, as well as many other rounds like 380, 9mm, 40, 357 SIG, and so on. Here, we have a 45 GAP. This is a buffalo bore, hollow point, right? And you can see the casing is where the size difference all is. It's just a little bit. So go casing to casing. Let's go base to base. You can see just that little bit makes it a bit thinner. And why did they do that? Why not just use 45 ACP? Well, if you look at the larger Glocks chambered in 45 ACP, the round plus the magazine, the polymer, the metal, the way Glock does their magazines, they couldn't fit it in a smaller framed pistol. It had to be the larger frame pistol, similar to like a Glock 29 or a Glock 30, which I just had with me, but I think I brought it upstairs already. You'll see that the frame is wider, it's bigger overall. So they just couldn't fit a 45 ACP. And at a time where the Glock 26, 27, and 33, which all use the same frame as this Glock 39, were such popular handguns, they wanted to get a 45 in a version like this. So that's why they came up with the 45 GAP. And like I said, the ballistics are basically the same. But like I said, a shorter round, lighter round, and at the same time, they make great defensive rounds for it. The number one complaint I hear about it, though, is you can't find ammo. And you're right. You go to your local store, your local gun range, they are not going to have 45 GAP. But if you go online, you can find it almost anywhere, and it's going to be for about the same exact price as 40 or 45 ACP. And because not a lot of people have firearms chambered in 45 GAP, the ammo is yours. I can get ammo nonstop with it, and there are also multiple active producers of 45 GAP out there today, which I have verified, so the round will still be available, trust me. And right here, the buffalo bore round that I got for self-defense, I also got a couple other self-defense rounds, but this is my go-to, was so easy to find. I found them, within 2 searches online, and I found as many boxes as I wanted. I basically could have ordered 10, 15, 20, 30 boxes of hollow points and been good. Instead, I only ordered 5. But these are both firearms that are very powerful and very small. Now, let's do a size comparison real quick. On the right is 8+1 of 45 GAP. So you still get that full grip on there. It's going to be about the length of a Glock 19 almost. but you're going to still have that shorter 3.5-inch barrel, and you're going to have 45 GAP power. So 9 rounds is plenty for me. I am perfectly fine with 9 rounds, and this setup is very concealable to many people, especially if you're carrying appendix, 3 o'clock, outside the waistband. On top of that, you can get a full grip for people who want that full grip for when you go to draw. You have that with the X grip. Or, if you really wanted to, you can go to the flush magazine, which is going to be 6+1. So 7 rounds of 45 GAP in such a tiny, tiny package. You could throw it in your pocket if you wanted to. Very easy to carry, very easy to conceal. You can always carry as many backup magazines as possible that you need. Now, let's go back to comparing the two. This is going to be 6+1 on the left, 8+1 on the right. But on the left, this is 45 ACP. Look at how thin that XDS is. It truly is a thin firearm, but obviously it has 2 less rounds. Whereas you can see how thick the Glock 39 is. Now, people are going to say, oh, this is such a snappy firearm out of such a thin single stack. Actually, it's not the case. Springfield Armory, or HS Product, did a great job with finding a way to take something that they had in 9mm and 40 before, making it a little wider, a little thicker for a better, more ergonomic feel, but also handle 45 ACP with very little recoil. This thing is actually a great shooter. You get a lot of power out of this thing, but very accurate to shoot. And yes, the trigger is maybe a little lousy, a little Glockish, or maybe even a little worse than a Glock, but it does break in as you get better. And then also the grip safety, a lot of people look at that as a negative, but you can get kits to where you get it pinned down completely, so you don't have to worry about that, because people say it's another way it could fail, but there are ways that you can get this pinned down so you never have to worry about it. But if you're going to be in a self-defense encounter, your hand's going to be somewhere near it, and it only has to be compressed a little bit for that trigger to be able to be pulled. But what's great about that is, for someone new to concealed carry and doesn't want a manual safety, this is awesome, because not only do you have a drop safety trigger with that dingus right there, but you also have the grip safety on the grip. So it gives you just an extra little bit of safety, precautions and stuff like that. On top of that, it comes optics ready, and on top of that, it comes with a rail. So basically, all you can ask for. Very thin, very easy to conceal, very light, and I've been carrying this all weekend, and I absolutely love it. I have no problem with 6+1 of 45 ACP, and now that it's going to be wintertime coming up here soon, I got that 7-round mag coming, so it's going to be 8 rounds of 45 ACP, a very light setup, and I'm using extreme defender rounds, to get through whatever it has to get through. It will. These rounds are absolutely massive. Oops, sorry. But on top of that, they are great technology. So these are 2 great options right here. Obviously, you can tell the XDS is easier to carry. They have a very similar footprint when you look at it like this. But once again, when you go up to the width, that's where the difference is going to be. 3.3-inch barrel versus a 3.5-inch barrel. You're going to be getting a little bit better ballistics and speed and accuracy out of the Glock 39. But both of these are great, reliable options. And to be honest, both of them have stood the test of time. And I know the Glock 39 is not the most popular and it's barely ever talked about or anything like that, but 100% reliable for me. I love it. I love that it comes automatically with the extended slide stop, because the slide is thicker than the 26, 27, 28, 33, and in this case the 39. The frames are all the same, but the slide's a little thicker on the 39 because of that round, but that helps with the recoil. Shooting this is honestly less snappy than a 40, less snappy than a 357 SIG. I would say shooting this is just a little bit more snappy than a 9mm out of a Glock 26. I mean, this thing is a great shooter. If you watch my first shots video and I'm shooting, go look at my face. You can see the joy from realizing the recoil was so minimal. It was such an accurate firearm just off the first shots. Didn't have to learn it because it's already a Glock configuration or Glock setup. And I absolutely love this thing. So when you love something, when you love a firearm, you're going to be willing to carry it. When you're willing to carry it, you're going to have it on you more often than not. And if you ever need it, I'd rather get caught with it than without it. I promise you. So if you have a firearm that you really like, fall in love with, you may add a couple things like I did. I added some XS big dot sights to it. Just a back plate for looks. And some handle it Edge Series grips, and now I have an awesome setup right here. 8+1 of 45 GAP. That's plenty. That is enough for a self-defense encounter, and I trust this thing with my life. This XDS, even though it only has 300 plus rounds through it, I'm really beginning to like this thing. Now this is just going to be a light carry for me. Now that it's winter, I'm going to be carrying, you know, the larger, the Glock 39, my 26, my 27, my M&P 40C. I'm going to be carrying my Springfield Armory Hellcat Pro, a little bit larger firearms because I can conceal them better simply because of the clothes we're wearing. But something like this, you'll still see me carrying from time to time. And when I go to the range, I will definitely be bringing it because I enjoy shooting things with power, with recoil, with muzzle flip. And I really enjoy trying to master them and learn them and get good with them. So those are two awesome firearms chambered in the Lord's caliber, God's caliber. If you think the 45 ACP or GP is Lord's caliber, all to you. All power to you. They're great. They're reliable. They have proven themselves to the test of time. Yes, they may be more expensive, whatever the case may be. But for me, in some situations, I feel like carrying this versus something like a SIG P365 and 380 that has 10 rounds, even though this only right here has 7 rounds of 45 ACP, I would take this over my P365 any day of the week. Even though there's more capacity and it's smaller, any day of the week I'm taking this. There's just something about the extra power and plus the trusted relationship I have with Springfield Armory that would make me carry this over the SIG all day long. But two great options. Two great options you may have never seen or heard, or maybe heard some people talk about it years ago but haven't seen anyone carry since. Two great options. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe. Thanks for watching.